you can imagine what he had to go get detailed inside that car. And I'm just telling you, I know that stench was...
Your reflection in my wine glass. That's when I look away. Can't stand and think about losing your fine ass. How the fuck I let you slip away? Life for the party, but I'm dead inside. Kill my vibes, it was Jen.
What is up, y'all? I am back with another video. As you guys can see from the title, this one is not like my typical videos where I'm doing like a review or testing something out on my skin to see if it works. This one is a story time. I felt like my channel didn't know much about me, and I mean, I want my channel to be about like lifestyle, just me in general, like not doing reviews and stuff like that. Like, of course I did a review because, hey, I wear glasses, I want my teeth to be whiter, stuff like that. So I just felt like, let me give them a little insight into my life, and how about start with something exciting. So as you guys can see from the title, I will be telling the story about how I had my baby in the car by myself. Just a little bit more background. I am a military spouse. My husband is in the military, well, in the Army, and so that is why I was by myself. He was actually deployed at the time, somewhere in the Europeans or whatever, but he was deployed at the time, and he did have a flight that he was supposed to be catching to be there on time. But if you are in the military or know anything about the military, nothing is predictable. But anyway, let's get to the story. So I was really like big pregnant, y'all, like huge pregnant. But I have had a baby before. This is my second kid, by the way. I have 2 kids. I've had a baby before, so the experience was so different. So I was about 45 minutes away from the hospital. My water had never broken before. With my first kid, I got induced, so I didn't even know what it was like to have your water break and stuff like that. So I don't know, I just didn't know what it was like to actually go into labor because I got induced and stuff. So the night before my water broke or whatever, I was like extremely hot. Like, oh my god, it's so hot in here. Mind you, the AC is on like 66 degrees, but not thinking, because I've never actually went into labor, I'm not sure. I'm just expecting cramps, like that's it. So yeah, I'm like extremely hot. I can't get comfortable, but it's not like I can't get comfortable because I'm having like extreme cramps or anything. It's just like I'm uncomfortable, as I have been for like the past 3 weeks because I had a big old baby. I'm just really uncomfortable. So I get up, it's like 5 o'clock maybe, to just go check the AC yet again. I'm already knowing what it's on, but just to go check it yet again because I'm that hot. As I'm trying to get back into the bed, my water breaks, like literally breaks on the bed. I'm like, dang, you couldn't do this when I was standing on the carpet or when I was standing on the hardwood. They had to break while I'm in the bed. Great, thank you. But yeah, my water breaks, so I instantly like go take a shower because as I've heard, you have a good amount of time between when your water breaks and actually needing to head to the hospital. So I get in the shower, and while I'm in the shower, it just feels kind of like a little TMI, but it feels like way too open. I'm like, what's going on? This is weird. So I'm like, I'm not gonna wait. So I instantly put my clothes on because I'm still not having any contractions that I knew of. So I instantly put my clothes on, and something tells me, no, do not put this dress on. Put on pants. And listen, when I tell you it was the best decision I ever made and didn't realize I was making such a great decision, it was the best decision. So I put pants on. I take my suitcase that was already pre-packed and I walk it downstairs because I'm on the 3rd floor. Yay me. So I walk it downstairs, I get in my car, and I just drive. I call my husband, like, oh, hey, guess what? My water broke. He was actually getting ready to board his plane so that he could fly here. Mind you, he's already supposed to be here, but that's another story for another day. But he's boarding his plane, and I'm like, ooh, I just got a contraction. Wow, this is what they feel like when they start on your own. Great. So I'm continuing my 45-minute drive to the hospital, and I get another contraction, but it's way closer than it should be. So I'm like, oh, maybe they're gonna be sporadic. No, y'all, like full-blown 20 minutes into the drive, I am contracting. Like, yes, every 2 minutes type of contracting, and I'm still 25 minutes from the hospital. So now I'm flooring it. I passed two cops flooring it. I'm going at least 20 miles over the speed limit, hoping one of them would pull me over and help me. And they didn't. But let me have been going 5 miles over in a regular day, and they would pull me over and be like, you were speeding. But this time, no one wants to pull me over. Great, thank you. But yeah, so I'm speeding like hell, and I'm about 7 minutes away from the hospital. Well, oh, I missed the part. I called my mom, and I told my mom, because like I said, we're military or whatever, so my where I was supposed to deliver was supposed to be on base, and because my mom doesn't have a military ID, she can't just go on base. So I was going to go pick her up and take her with me until my husband got into the States. So I'm on my way to get my mom, actually. So I'm about 25 minutes away from my mom or whatever, and about 7 minutes from her house, I just break out into a sweat. Like, my whole body just literally just like just sweats. Like, it's like someone poured water on my head. And then my body just does this weird calming thing, y'all. When I tell you the human body is so mysterious and so cool, my body literally just does this calming thing for me. Mind you, I'm freaking out because I'm still driving. My contractions are literally like 30 seconds apart at this time. So I am, my body just calms itself down, and then I have this crazy realization, like, you're not gonna make it to the hospital, let alone make it to your mom's house. So I brace myself, put mind you all, I'm still driving. I never stop. I don't pull over to have this baby. I have this baby while I'm still driving, putting my foot on the pedal, stopping, braking, going, all that. So I calm myself down, and I just continue to drive. I brace myself up, like I brace my back onto the back of my seat, and I brace my other foot, my non-driving foot, so because I knew that this was gonna be like hard. I do 2 pushes for her head and it pops out, and then I do 1 push for her body and she just falls out. Well, luckily I had pants on. I tried to like partially pull them down, but I didn't really get much down because I'm driving. So I pulled them down probably like an inch away from my knees, which was great because it caught my baby and stopped her from like falling onto the floor while I'm driving, and all the dirt and the shoes and all the other good stuff. So that was the best part that I didn't even realize that I was doing, was putting those pants on. But yeah, I push her out and she doesn't make any sound. So I'm like, is she dead? Like, what's going on? Like, this is scary. She's not crying. Normally when a baby comes out, they're crying. At least my first was. She was screaming, hollering, bloody murder, but she was not crying at all. So instead of me going to the hospital, I continue to drive to my mom's house. I get to my mom's house and she walks outside, and I'm like, come get the baby. And she's looking at me like, what do you mean? I'm about to go to the passenger seat. No, come around and get this baby. She looks down and realizes, oh shoot, her belly is significantly smaller. I will drop a picture I might drop a picture in here so you guys can see how big I actually was, so that you'll understand how she was able to see that drastic change. So I went ahead and inserted my belly pictures. The first one is a month before I had her. That second one is about a week and a half before I had her. Just a little insight. A baby gains about a pound a week the last 4 weeks until they're here. So yeah. So she comes over and she just takes the baby out. And by the way, her name is Cameron. Take Cameron out, and Cameron's looking at us like, and blinking like, girl, you do know that you just came out in the most unsterile way possible with no assistance? You could have did a little cry. You could have saved my nerves a little bit. But yeah, she was healthy. She was fine. Mind y'all, this is a 8-pound, 1-ounce baby that I pushed out by myself with no assistance. 8 pounds, 1 ounce. So on my way here, my husband had to hang up, or not on my way here, but on my way to the hospital, my husband had to hang up because it was time for his flight to take off. So when he hangs up, I call my doctor. He doesn't answer, so he calls me back after I've had the baby and I'm still sitting in my mom's parking lot, and he's like, oh, are you okay? What's going on? I said, oh, I had the baby. And he's like, what are you talking about? No one called me to the hospital. Well, I didn't make it to the hospital. I actually had it in the car. So he's like, well, are you guys headed to the hospital now? And then I realized, oh shoot, you should probably head to the hospital. No, I was just sitting in my parking lot. So he's like, hang up the phone and call the ambulance. So I called the ambulance and they come and they pick us up and we're all fine. I was literally in labor longer with my placenta than I was with my child. And that is the story about how I had my baby in the car. Oh, and then my husband called after I hadn't had her, and my mom's like, she had the baby. And he's like, what? She had the baby in the car. He's like, shut up. No, she didn't. Yes, I did, sir. So you can imagine what he had to go get detailed inside that car. And I'm just telling you, I know that stench was gross. But yeah, that's my story about how I had my baby in the car. And until next time, y'all, I'm out.
Your reflection in my wine glass. That's when I look away. Can't stand and think about losing your fine ass. How the fuck I let you slip away? Like for the party, but I'm dead inside. Kill my vibes, it was Jen.